If you think this race is going to be decided by likability, you're making a grave error, because neither one of them is going to be liked at the end of this race.
I think if you live in one of these 6 battleground states, you should hide your children from the television set for the next 8 weeks. I think it's going to be a very tough race.
All right, Democrats are starting to feel the pressure as the Trump campaign starts to gain momentum back from Kamala Harris. The honeymoon period is over, and now once again, they are panicking about the debate coming up and the key battleground states that are up in the air. Check this out.
A number of people are joining Team Trump as we enter the final 3 months of the campaign. Trump campaign vets Corey Lewandowski and Tim Murtaugh joined the team last month, and in the past week, former Democrat turned independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and former Democrat Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard are now honorary co-chairs of the transition team. Let's bring in Trump campaign senior advisor Jason Miller to discuss. Jason, good to see you. So I want to go to the debate because I think a lot of Americans haven't seen, Kamala take questions from the media. Obviously, she did one joint interview with Tim Walz, not a hard-hitting interview at CNN. But we're all looking forward to the debate of September 10th. But I don't know that Kamala has actually confirmed the debate. Is it going to happen? What's the latest on the ABC debate?
Well, Sean, good morning. I think that's a great question with regard to the debate. I think that the Harris campaign is looking for an escape hatch, is looking for a way to get out of this debate. To be clear, these are the rules that the Democrats wrote. These are the rules that we had in place for the CNN debate. Everyone had agreed to the rules, at least informally, with ABC. We have a deal with ABC. ABC has a deal. ABC is with us all the way on this. But here's what I think happened. I think the Harris folks started going into debate prep, and now they realize what they're working with. They realize that they're in real trouble with Kamala Harris. They also know that President Trump is the greatest debater in modern political history. So I think they're nervous and want a way out.
Let's not forget, if the Democrats do decide to debate Trump, he'll have a former Democrat on his side, Tulsi Gabbard. And we all know she knows how to attack Kamala Harris and her hypocritical policies that she has implemented and endorsed. This is what happened the last time Tulsi went head-to-head with Kamala and exposed her in front of the world on national television.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Kamala can't handle being exposed to her face live. That's why she barely does any interviews or live press conferences with questions from the press. And as far as the conservative movement, there's real momentum here. And a big part of that is thanks to independents who are now swinging Trump's way. Let's be honest. When independents start endorsing Trump, that's a serious game changer. It's no coincidence former Democrats like Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. are fleeing to a more conservative movement.
What's your philosophy behind that endorsement? What do you hope Donald Trump does for the future of this country and for the future of humanity?
I think there's,
People tend to take, like, say, an endorsement as, well, I agree with everything that person has ever done their entire life 100% wholeheartedly. And that's not going to be true of anyone. But we have to pick, we've got two choices really for who's president. And it's not just who's president, but the entire administrative structure changes over. And I thought Trump displayed courage under fire, objectively. The President of the United States got to represent the country. And they're representing you, they're representing everyone in America. Well, I think you want someone who is strong and courageous to represent the country. That's not to say that he is without flaws. We all have flaws. And I'll tell you, like, what are the things that I think are important? I think we want a secure border. We don't have a secure border. We want safe and clean cities. I think we want to reduce the amount of spending that we're, at least slow down the spending. Because we're currently spending at a rate that is bankrupting the country. The interest payments on U.S. debt this year exceeded the entire Defense Department spending. If this continues, all of the federal government taxes will simply be paying the interest. And you keep going down that road, and you end up, in the tragic situation that Argentina had back in the day. Argentina used to be one of the most prosperous places in the world.
The Democrats are running another scared campaign. In 2020, it was hiding Biden, and now it's the same thing for 2024: minimal interviews, controlled debates, all to fool the American people about what they will actually do for the country.
But Kamala Harris and her campaign, they're afraid. Think about it for a moment, Sean. Why did they wait 39 days to even do this joint interview where Kamala Harris spoke for all of 16 minutes and 29 seconds? And then now this is day 42 that Kamala Harris has gone without doing a solo interview. This is really bizarre. I think they're afraid and they don't want to put Kamala Harris out there. And you want to know why? Because she's going to have to answer for every bit of this last 3.5 years. You can't talk about turning the page when you're the one who broke the economy, broke the border, broke the world. But that's on Kamala, and she's going to have to account for that when she's on the debate stage.
Republicans are feeling pretty confident about the battleground states. With independents coming into the fold and the GOP's message of economic strength and security gaining traction, there's a real sense that this election could swing. Like and subscribe and let us know in the comments what you think about the state of the current election.